exit midstream. I wish you'd get rid of that. Oh, I'm controlling that. What's a better screen than I could? Just moving it out of the way, otherwise like a big picture of my face behind me, it feels very like weird.
Don't worry, we'll zoom in real close here so we get a big picture on the screen.
I just inhaled like 4 chocolate chip cookies too, so I probably got a God knows what my teeth look
Why
like.
isn't it zooming?
All right. So I'm going to say horrible traffic and all the rain is what's hitting the turnout of people that are coming. Yeah, more people coming. Thank you guys for coming out. The topic today, we're going to do a beginner hour, like ask questions and just talk about like the latest of what's going on for a bit. And then the topic today is going to be influencers. We've been talking about the Amazon influencer program for so much that anytime I think of the word influencer, I'm automatically just thinking Amazon influencer, but that's not the topic today. Today is basically top 5 influencer programs that are ways to work with influencers, in my experience, that can actually help you drive sales. To full transparency, well, all of these are ones that I work with or have worked with extensively, with the exception of one, and I'll let you know when I get to that one, just because I just started working with them, but the results were by the way, I got 7 of them, trying to like over-deliver here, so I have 7, not just 5 that I'm going to deliver tonight. But one of them, the results have been so amazing that I feel the need to put in here. I'll let you guys know. The ones that I've worked with firsthand for like years and have a ton of experience, I think you could blindly go into them and get great results. But the one that I'm going to preface with, hey, I just started this one. Maybe do your due diligence as well, but you'll be like pioneering it just like me before everyone starts hearing about it. Quick shout out to sponsors that we have. My wife would not allow me to pay for this place and the Miami place and all the other stuff that I do if not for our sponsors, especially being free. So, but when I'm telling you that if not for the sponsors, we would not be able to do this, it could not be further from it is true. It is 100% true. 2 of the sponsors that we actually have here today. One is Rivley, and if you needed to create something in the world, not that it was needed, but this is me, by the way. They're not paying me yet to speak on their behalf, right? But you could not have created a better storm. I've been ribbing them the last few times, like, hey, when are you going to open it so I can buy some stuff? But it's for U.S. brands to be able to get what I'm going to call like super fair representation, and that people could shop. Good job, yeah. And could shop for U.S. brands and have a safe way to do it, and for brands to be protected. But with everything going on in the world, I mean, you could not have created a better need for that right now. And I'll touch a little bit on like the latest on things I think we should all be paying attention to as Amazon sellers. From the opportunity side of it, I don't want to come around like I'm screaming like end of the world, but there's an opportunity here, but there's also something you really need to be aware of. But and that's Rivley. That's the 2 gentlemen, and I use that word loosely, in the back. We also have Thrasio in the back. That's the one that couldn't figure out the audio. Thankfully, Thrasio is not responsible for audio fidelity. They are responsible for removing pesky negative reviews. So thank God for Thrasio. Right. Maybe not. I think there's something wrong with the audio. Am I switching?
You're good. I'm just putting this up so that...
That is genius. So questions are here.
Yeah.
That is, I love that.
Anyone that has a question, just direct it right here.
You don't have to stand up. No.
Don't look them in the eyes. Just be like, I got a question.
No. We also have a ton of other sponsors. I keep meaning to bring something to hang some of these banners on the walls, because I'm really appreciative of them. I mentioned Rivley, Enzo, Honu Worldwide, Gatita. You see how amazing that banner looks?
We can hang
I've been meaning to buy something to bring so that I can hang them on the wall, but I don't know what to hook to the wall to get those banners.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Gatita, Whole New Worldwide, just a lot of sponsors which you see on links in the actual event description as well as in the top of our meetup. All right, getting my bearings. Oh, podcast. We have a podcast, Wizards of Ecom podcast. I would love you to take a listen. It is a very difficult process if you're a content creator to get up there and create content. And with a YouTube video, you clearly see if somebody hates it, they tell you, and they give you thumbs down or thumbs up. With a podcast, you're just talking sometimes alone to a mic, hoping the audio is not glitching and it's getting good audio. I think you put it out there, and most you don't hear back from, because some people might have heard it, but then they don't come up to you and tell you. So if you've listened to anything on the podcast, come up to me and say, you know what, episode such and such, it sucked, or it was good. Any feedback to know that there's people out there helps. Being a little I'm exaggerating a little. The podcast has done very well. It's ranked really nice, and I would love 5-star reviews. Unlike Amazon, I can ask you for a 5-star review. I will incentivize you if necessary. I really would like 5-star reviews on the podcast.
What's the name of it?
Wizards of Ecom. The event, the next event, we have 2 events coming at the end of the year that we go to as a group. And by group, I mean 3 chapters on the West Coast, the 3 in the East Coast, some people coming in from the UK now, since we have a chapter out there in the UK. We all meet up at these events as a group, so it's absolutely amazing. Oh. So, do I do the thing about Rivley being in charge of the lights?
Nope.
You know? So those 2 events are, the first one is in August, and it's Co-Create. It's Alibaba Co-Create. It's going to be a phenomenal event, not just because I'm speaking, but expect to see everything you want to know about TikTok there. Being that it's not an Amazon event, you're going to see Shein, you're going to see Temu, you're going to see everything you want to do to like learn how to like master some of these platforms, especially how to like really leverage Alibaba. It's a very unique event. Expect 4,000 people at this event. Massive event. I don't know the experience you guys have going to some of these events. If you going there by yourself is one thing. Going there as a community and knowing a whole bunch of people that you can bounce ideas around is a phenomenal experience. Highly recommend the latter. And the other thing is, over the last 15 years of doing this, I've been fortunate enough to make some connections. So all those parties and those after events, we get into all of them, because I immediately tell them, like, hey, I'll go, but we go. Get us all in and we'll go, and we make it happen. So we're going to get into everything. So if you go, that's great. If you look up Alibaba Co-Create 2024, you'll find it. And if you use the code WOE, it gives you 20% off. A bit about the tickets: they have 3 tiers. One of them's $150. It's in Vegas. It's $150. It's a 2-day event. And they have like a $450, and then they have a $999. I just want you to go. But something about their VIP $999 that I think you should know about is it includes the hotel rooms at the hotel of the event, and it's a great one. So I mean, that alone is going to cost you a chunk. That's baked into your ticket. If you're using Alibaba in any way, shape, form, or fashion, it also comes with a $200 Alibaba credit. So your next one, you use $200 of Alibaba's money, comes out of that. And it includes your food throughout the event, including a gala dinner. The ticket pretty much pays for itself. So
What's the coupon code you said?
WOE.
When
Like
is
for-
this and where?
It is August 5th and 6th in Las Vegas.
Vegas.
So somebody told me this. I don't know if it's true, but I've noticed every time I go to fly out to Vegas, unless you're buying your plane tickets the day before the event, it seems like they almost subsidize the cost of the planes just to get you into Vegas, so you spend money on the slots. They lose with me. I don't gamble. My gambling is Amazon. But as events go, this is a pretty affordable event. Guys and women, we usually create a sheet with men and women who are looking to share rooms with respective people, so you get to meet people. So even if you wanted to offset some of those costs, you could. Just come, right? You don't hear me pitching all these events that are happening just to try to get us to go. Like, this one's worth it. The other event that we have at the end of the year is PLMA. This one's in November. This is the Private Label Manufacturers Association. It is in warm Chicago in November. No, it's freaking cold, right? And this event is excellent for you if you are a reseller or if you are a private label seller. But what it is a massive convention center, and I mean massive, probably one of the largest, outside of the Canton Fair in China. If you know, then you know. Outside of the Canton Fair in China, it is probably the largest event I go to every year. And it is full of US-based manufacturers looking for people who want to start a brand. So you can work with them. They have very, very competitive pricing to China and very low MOQs. So it's like to me the greatest secret in the Amazon space. The reason why I say it's great for brands and resellers is because the factories that are there, they began as factories that created their own products. And they started their own brands. But what happened was they did so well, they now want to keep their machines running. They have all their certificates, their licenses, their processes, their labor, US based. And they are willing to, you know, if you go to like Publix, this is the Publix water, it might get made, I don't know, in a Dasani plant, or they have the Publix ketchup, and they get it white labeled from some other ketchup brand. They want to do that for us, for the brands that we want to do that are there. I will tell you, I have been to China almost 50 times. Great for business, horrible for your back. No, not a fun experience for me, but I would much rather go visit my new factory in Vermont than I would go want to travel all the way across the world to Guangzhou, you know what, to look for my products. Totally different experience. So highly recommend coming with us to Co-Create and to PLMA. PLMA's $400. That's a ticket that PLMA charges you. And by the way, the group doesn't charge anything. For us and all the stuff that we're doing, not charging a penny. I just want you to go and level up your business. You level up your business, you're going to tell more people about the group. Like, that's my evil hidden agenda. But they charge you $400 to go into PLMA, worth every penny. You with me on that? Cool. I think I covered the events for the rest of the year. What am I missing? Okay, no, that's it. Let's take a second to go over before we get into the actual topic of the week. And oh God, really? Yes. I didn't even know I needed to shave. This looks so horrible, man. That was like a nasal view. What was that? Okay.
If your computer screen goes dark.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I put your big old face up there. There
Okay.
we go.
Okay. Cool. We'll do like an open topic for a second. Anybody that has any questions about selling on Amazon, anything they're stuck on, anything they're unsure on. This could be beginner stuff too. If anybody here is a beginner, like, ask away. A totally appropriate question is, I don't even know what question to ask, and then I will take off from there. But anything that anyone's stuck on. If not, I'll bring up a few things that I think since a month ago that I think you should probably be thinking about or thinking towards to get that conversation going before we get into the topic of the week. Yep.
I'm new at this, but I want to sell product. Like, I'm going to do it.
Yep.
That's why I'm here. I know you can have your product all done by Amazon and there's fees and things like that. There's also other companies that ship products for you as well, right? Now, I just saw that like today, but I didn't know what it was.
3PL.
Right. So
Maybe a 3PL.
yeah. So it would either be
How does it
what
work?
I feel like you're describing, because you said new and you're getting started,
Uh-huh.
and you just heard it today. Like
just saw it
my
today.
spidey sense went off, and I was like, oh my God, is somebody pitching you on drop shipping?
No, it was like 5 companies, and they said you can send your product there, and they'll handle everything.
Yes. So that would be a 3PL, like what you're describing,
What
and
is
they
it?
are the best thing since
Yeah.
peanut butter. Like,
Exactly. What is that about?
so what happens there is you order product, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, or you buy product from the store if you're a reseller, you buy it from a brand and they sell it to you wholesale, or you buy it from China.
Yeah.
You need to receive it. You're not sending it straight into Amazon FBA.
Exactly.
Right. You need to receive it. Most people shouldn't. Well, nobody should, but you shouldn't have that stuff sent to your house like I did for the first few years. Right?
I was going to do that, but
Right.
thank you.
No, I don't think you should. Well,
I have like a warehouse in my backyard, literally, like the size of this.
so here's my issue with that. Like, I think you shouldn't not start if you don't have a 3PL. Like, I think it's better to just start. The problem, firsthand experience, is you bring your stuff to your house.
Yeah.
Then you're doing box tape going off inside your house. Sounds like a shotgun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Your house just gets dirty. The separation between your personal life and work becomes non-existent, which is already difficult as an e-com seller. We have phones. Your significant other is probably going to start stressing you about what the heck, like what happened to my kitchen, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens is, let's say you succeed and you're starting to grow. It's very difficult. You hold on too long. It's very difficult. At what point do you say, you know what? I'm just going to give up $1,500 a month just to get this stuff out of my house. I'm going to get a warehouse, right? So it almost gives you these like silver handcuffs, if you will,
Yeah.
and you stay too long. And I think it stunts the growth of your business. Full transparency, I did that. Taped it all in my house. I did all that. The good side of it is when you do leave, you will never complain about Amazon FBA fees, storage fees. You will never complain. You will never complain about a 3PL,
Real, okay.
right? And those
Alright.
the robbery of a $25 pallet. You know,
Yeah.
you will have such a profound appreciation for all of that and an understanding. That is the only benefit I see that kind of comes from it. So you would want to partner with a 3PL and then have your inventory staged out of the 3PL and dripped into Amazon FBA. You're new, so I don't want to make this a super intimidating topic,
Yeah.
but the time I think of just having one 3PL is quickly leaving us. I think you need 3PLs staged strategically throughout the U.S. I think you need to start, we keep talking about FBA, but there's another layer to this called AWD, Amazon Warehouse Distribution. If you're not using warehouse distribution, you're probably missing out on a lot of money. Like, I ran the math on it. I can't find exceptions to this rule. But the flow that it looks like now is you want to send your products into AWD, and then from AWD, you want AWD to replenish, if you will, your FBA inventory. So you start getting into this flow of just sending to AWD.
Okay.
So have your 3PL send into AWD, have your 3PL send into AWD, have your factory send into AWD. Amazon has like really entered that field, and there's a lot of benefits to it, including less fees on Amazon's part.
Thank you.
Now I'm having my first batch of inventory shipped to me, and I've done this before, and I did the same thing, and I ended up working with my suppliers and having to go straight into Amazon. But the reason I'm doing it now is because I want to have very tight quality control. I want to put my own hands. I'm not going to trust anybody because my first time around on it,
Yep.
I had it shipped to me. I did the QC. I didn't even do a good enough job. My very first review was a 1-star, and it was horrible. So you don't want your first review to be 1-star.
Yeah.
So I'm just, I know it's going to be tough. It's going to suck to have all that inventory. I'm cool with it. I'm going to package it and go over it with fine tooth comb, and then I'll just work out my process.
Yeah,
Wow.
I have to agree with a lot. Even though it's not what I do now, I have to just agree with a lot of what he said, because there was this, and hopefully no one here has heard me tell this story before, but I used to receive all my products direct. For that, I'd receive them, but if I sent it straight to Amazon, something would get missed in the quality control. I would get stuck with this disaster of needing to recall stuff. Horrible. I don't know if they're lying in the reviews, if it's right, because I never got to see it or touch it. So I just said, you know what? I'm receiving everything, and then it's going to me. I'm paying a little extra, but it's almost like insurance that I'm never going to get cut off at the knees, right? And then one of my brands is a brand called Tanner's in the coffee space, and I found this niche on Amazon for these high-end spoons. You've heard me say it? High-end spoons. I didn't want to bore you. That's why I feel like I've told this story before. So these high-end spoons, we're talking about $65. They're not even a full length of a spoon at your house, but they're the types of spoons that you know they stir like this.
One
With
spoon.
pinky in the air, right? And it's just, and you don't even use a regular cup to stir these things. They have a little dimple in the bottom of the cup, and it's supposed to fit perfectly and circle around the dimple. I'm gonna sell it.
1 spoon is 65.
1 spoon for coffee connoisseurs, right? I want it. My cost on this special spoon was still the cost of a regular spoon. My margins were insane. So I get this spoon, and I'm like, you know what? There's no chance. What's the defect rate gonna be? A spoon is a spoon,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
I'm not receiving this.
Yeah.
It's light enough, everything. I am sending this straight into FBA, right? It's no brainer.
Yeah.
Like now I'm just being paranoid if I receive it. So even when I order these products, I would send an inspection team in to go inspect the products, to take photos of the products. Why receive it? I did. I had it sent straight to FBA. The first product sold, got a negative review. It says used. I was like, used. Next one, obviously used, gross. And I got hammered.
What?
And eventually my defect rate spiked. I stopped the listing and I recalled the products. And I'm just like, I mean, I didn't really have a bunch of competitors. This was some random thing that I found. So we're not even going to say my competitors are sabotaging me.
Yeah.
I received them and I opened them up. So the inspection team and the people in the factory, imagine, you've been to a factory before yet?
Yeah.
Okay. So not 60, it's not 68 degrees. It's,
Yeah. It's hot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was handling the spoons barehanded. So they had fingerprints
Oh.
on these highly polished spoons. So they looked used. I would have never thought to check for that,
Never would have thought of that one.
right? Never. And if you paid for any spoon, it's like a hair or a
That's crazy.
fingerprint on your spoon, it's used.
It's done.
You think it's used. Yeah, no one's paying for that. And a $65 spoon, no less. And then I went back to I'm receiving everything. So I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a comb. I'm receiving that
Did you
thing.
sell the spoons again yourself?
Yeah, but we hand polish them. Bought like those white gloves, literally that you see in the movies that they do the check for the dust, and we held them and we did it. And even polishing them and putting them in, all the dust particles in the air, it was a royal pain. Yeah, back then we didn't value our time, so we didn't factor in labor costs, but it couldn't have been pretty. It was a $65 spoon. We had plenty of margin. We didn't take a bath on it. But I say that to say, like, you never freaking know. Like, you need to have some quality control in your place, to your point. Like, I think I get why you're doing it. I relate. Yeah. Try to get to a spot where you have something in place. There's a lot of services out there that are super affordable. If you're bringing stuff from China, we have one called BD Inspection. There's plenty of inspection companies in the U.S. You can get, if you have a great 3PL, they'll do it. Because remember, they have a vested interest in this, like Honu Worldwide. If your shipment tanks, you're not going to keep doing business with them. So they need you to do good. So they really know what to look for. Just make sure you're working with somebody good, and you don't have to do this, but I would understand if you did. Okay.
Didn't you have
That's a great story.
3PL that was sponsoring it?
Honu Worldwide, yeah.
Yeah, do you have
Say Pete.
recommendations?
Yeah, I highly recommend Honu. Let me see if I can get their banner out.
I was thinking about using her. Yes, well, yes.
Yeah, I'll just put it over here so you guys can see. Oh, the ones in Miami are a QR. He said other ones, and I think I have one here that has a QR code, but
Beatrice just reminded me there was Glove that was here. Wasn't it Glove?
they're an old sponsor. Yeah, good people. I think they're local from Tampa. I think they might have exited or something happened too. Yeah. I believe they're no longer doing anything. Good people, but they were a sponsor for us for a time. Yeah. Yeah. I don't. You could throw a rock and hit a 3PL. You can. They're not all created equal. I'm not saying that this one is the only great one out there. This one, though, to me stands apart while still being affordable. Because like the one I used before, the only brand I have left is a brand of live insects. You're not 3PLing that. So when before my last exits, we used a 3PL called Shipmonk, right? Exclusively. They are what comes up under search if you search for very expensive 3PL, right? So you don't hear me recommending them.
I saw that. That's the one.
they're amazing.
Yeah.
They're absolutely
That's
amazing.
what I
Like
saw
the
today.
systems and everything they have in place is just out of this world. You feel like you're walking into like Star Wars, Star Trek. It's just nuts. But you pay for that,
Yes.
right? So I don't come in here recommending it to everybody. You should go to Shipmonk. By the way, they don't even accept people majority of the time. So
So in contrast to the product I'm working on right now is going to be a bundle, so I've got multiple suppliers. Well, my plan is I've got a shipper in China that's willing to collect them all, put them in the package, do the QC there, and then ship direct to Amazon.
who are you using, if you don't mind me asking?
I can't remember.
Because I have a recommendation.
Oh, really? Well, he's.
SkuDrop.
Oh, no, I don't. It's not like that. It's just some guy that got recommended to me.
I
And,
might be a great guy, but that's usually the beginning of a lot of bad jokes on Amazon.
Alright.
Some guy that was recommended to me, right?
well,
Just-
yeah, 'cause I've only used him once for one thing. But what did you say his name was?
The company's name is SkuDrop.
With a K?
SKU and then drop. And if you reached out to me, I'd be happy to do an email intro. I don't have an affiliate or anything like that, but they are the best at that.
And they're in China.
Yes.
Good bet.
They have several places around China, so they're going to be close to whatever factory's there. But they'll receive it, they'll inspect, they'll receive it for free. They'll warehouse it for the first month for free. They'll consolidate it, they'll inspect it, and then they'll ship it at whatever rate you want. So you can get into a really cool, they will do all of it. They will send pictures, they will do any custom, they will let a third-party inspection company come in their place and inspect it again if you want it. They do all that. And you don't pay anything up to that point. Where you pay is when you go to ship. And even then it's stupid affordable. Yeah.
Not the most expensive. for you.
No. They're absolutely amazing. One of the things that I think more people are going to be talking about SkuDrop, because this isn't really like a beginner topic, right? But I think more people are going to be talking about SkuDrop because pay-per-click advertising costs are going up on Amazon. Everything's kind of raising. Your sort of profits are getting compressed. So you're needing to recover that in other ways. Raise your prices sounds great, and in some cases some people should, but Amazon's a very price-sensitive environment, and they just rolled out the direct to China. We're about to see like a Temu version of stuff on Amazon. So raising your prices sounds good in paper, unless you're like really doing a lot. But you can make up for it a lot because most people have very ineffective logistics. So one example would be when you order something, let's say from China or from anywhere, and you order 2,000, 5,000 pieces. When they tell you that your products are ready, that's not the day that all 2,000 of them just miraculously finished. That was the day that they finished the 2,000th unit. But you've had 250, 500 plus units sitting there packaged, master box, ready to go. They were just waiting on the rest of your order. But you paid them 30% to start that order, 30 or 40%, right? The new model, you can quote, circle back in a year and tell me if I was right, is what's going to happen is you're going to tell your factory, every time you have 150 to 200 units boxed, 100, send it to SkuDrop. They consolidate it, and now you have this drip going on. So you're going to have AWD and FBA with your products in stock before you would have normally had your entire shipment done and ready to ship. So for just pure cash flow perspective, it's amazing.
Is it economical to ship in the smaller volumes?
Yes, because if you were trying to do a less than container load,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be. But what's happening is SkuDrop is consolidating and taking the rate of a 40-foot container,
Oh, okay.
and you're only paying for your portion.
Okay.
So you save a ton, and it's very effective.
Would SkuDrop be better than AWS, or is it for them?
For AGL, Amazon Global Logistics,
Yes.
so you could use SkuDrop, and then they will connect you, and AGL can pick up from them if you wanted to use AGL to come over. You don't have to use them to ship. They'll just pay for something, they'll just charge you something to prep your products for shipping. Again, it's nominal. They're dealing with volume. They're not trying to like,
You have the website to that,
yeah, well, yeah. Let me pull it up.
if you don't mind, please.
No, absolutely.
Right information.
Yes, this is.
Yeah.
SkuDrop, okay, SKU drop, okay.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to get my information, I'm happy to do an email intro again. Like,
Yes, please.
yeah, but if you write my number down for WhatsApp, 305, you have it, 965 5857, Carlos. And if you just send me like this is so-and-so from Tampa. Can you intro me to SkuDrop or anything else you want? I'll do it. Yeah, I mean, it's probably not going to be till tomorrow afternoon because I'm driving back to Miami either tonight or tomorrow morning. But yeah, highly recommend this. So see, one question, rabbit hole into a bunch of good stuff.
Yes.
We have time for a few more.
So 305-965.
5857.
Perfect.
Yep. Something I just touched on briefly, but Amazon is getting into, not getting, they are in. It started like China Direct. So this whole de minimis subsidized shipping that the U.S. does. Again, I'm going to sound anti-China. I'm not anti-anybody. This is just like, this is what's up. But we subsidize products, shipping for stuff to come over from China. We're not able to do the same thing the other way around and tap into their market. So personally, forget national. I think it's very unfair. I'd like to compete globally, and if you beat me, fine, but you get access to my market, I don't get access to your market, and you don't have to pay taxes over here, and I can't even reach your people. To me, that doesn't seem like you're beating me globally. It seems like I'm getting beat by my own people. Done with that. That's a dangerous topic. But that's how the thing's working. So Amazon is feeling the heat from Temu and Shein and TikTok in a sense, because that's how a lot of this stuff is coming over from TikTok. And their answer to that, up until recently, was they would bump up the commissions that you could make on the Associates program and the Amazon Influencer program when you were dealing with like luxury goods, clothing, and stuff like that, because that was their way of trying to like motivate people to sell more of their stuff on the Amazon platform than was happening over there at Temu and Shein. Apparently that didn't do good enough. So they've now, with the logistics they already have in place, that's why I'm saying it's happening now, they're now making it to where factories or basically anyone in China can list the products on Amazon at a ridiculously cheaper price. I mean, stuff that sells over here, even if it's from somebody from China that needed to ship it over there, they could sell for $19. They could sell it for $3.99. They're now going to be able to do that, and you're going to see that on the Amazon platform. That is going to have a negative impact on some people. I don't know what everybody sells, but just like COVID had a negative impact, if you had an 8-figure seller, if you had an 8-figure brand that sold travel pillows, like neck pillows, you got hurt, right? So some people are going to get hurt here on this. If you are selling lower end products,
That's what took my business out.
yeah,
I was doing pretty good.
yeah. If you're selling lower end products,
COVID did?
No, Chinese vendors going straight into Amazon.
yeah. If you sell lower, yeah, if you sell lower end products, if you sell cheaper supplements, if you sell, because the higher end supplements are kind of insulated, because a lot of people, when they want to get higher end supplements, they're like, made in China. No, I'm done. But the lower end stuff still has there's a nice little grab that it has. Shockingly, I wouldn't take it. But if you're in that space, you are going to get hurt. Like I recommend that I do this exercise for any of you that do listen to the podcast, and it's I call it Extinction Event. So what I do, I used to do it weekly. I probably do it like every 4 to 6 weeks now, getting a little complacent. But it's an exercise in putting yourself out of business. Like, what are the things that you see on the horizon? What are the things that are happening now that if they continue happening and I don't have a solid answer for, could put me out of business or put me in a spot where it doesn't make sense to keep doing business, because you're doing this to make money, right? And you're like, staying in business because you're breaking even is like, that's not business. What are those things that it can be? And I think for some sellers, this is going to be an issue. So I just encourage you to do it. You're more than welcome to reach out to me with ideas and what do you think, and I'm more than happy to just share my 2 cents on it. We also have the Telegram community you can jump into and ask, and a lot of people will let you know their 2 cents on it. Having said that, this also cuts both ways, because I'm not a fan of this model, but it's also because, I mean, I've been a seller for 15 years, and I'm just in a different stage of my life. But you now will also be able to, for some of you that had lower end products, you now technically don't need to bring over 2,000 units of your product into China. As a matter of fact, you have some products, I won't say what they were, which by the way, we have videos up. I don't know if any are popped up yet, but they're recorded.
Thank you very much.
I don't know, have you seen any? Did any show up?
No, not yet.
We found out a week ago that the box glows.
It does.
We had no idea. Turn the lights on, we heard my lights off, and my daughter just started, ah! By the way, thank you. But those types of products, you don't have to bring bulk anything over. You could just list it, and now you will be more profitable selling one-offs of products direct from China. So the Chinese factories and people in China are the ones that are doing it, but they don't have to just be the ones that are doing it. You can still get a hold. There's more factories that are not going to do it than are, and the factories that are just focused on being factories, you could do the same thing. So there is that.
But do you think you're going to be able to notice we already have a lot of Chinese sellers. Are you going to be seeing these new ones, or we're just going to see the price very low?
Well, you're going to see the price very low, but like,
Then
not,
it's difficult to compete in a, like you say, in the lower
well,
cost things.
yes, but that doesn't, I feel like it's important to put things in like the conversation in perspective here. So before this happened, if you were selling a $15 item on Amazon, you were in bad shape anyway, right? So this doesn't have to be a horrible thing. This could just be prior to this, you were uncomfortable, but not uncomfortable enough to do something about it. Now, you got motivation to do something about it. Like, there wasn't a lot of margin there anyway, but now I just think you're about to get cooked. So on Amazon, a lot of stuff that are sold on Amazon, there's no brand loyalty to them. You know, I have a specific brand of toilet paper that I get. I'm not searching for cheapest toilet paper, right? But if I'm searching for princess stickers for my daughter, I don't even know a brand of stickers. You know, like I'm just looking for what's there, making sure it's not going to make her, you know, it's not toxic, you know, 1-star review, and I'm just buying. I don't care, but I'm buying the cheapest one. I'm not buying if the designs are equal, I'm buying the $3 one. I'm not buying the $13 one. So for those types of products, yeah, those are the ones that are going to sell the most. And when they sell the most, they're going to be ranked the best. So you're going to see page one full of, in a lot of categories, full of things selling for under $5 and ads. Probably of people that are selling products above $5 because that's the only way they'll get seen on the first page. So as a brand, the majority of your sales now are going to be paid ads. So it's a scenario to think about. Any other questions when we get into this? I feel like this is a good segue to get into the topic for today. One of the ways to really boost your profit margin, I'm telling you this firsthand experience. And by the way, I don't really do much in the way of introductions, but there's some people I haven't met. I've been a seller for 15 years. I've been a 9-figure seller now since 2020. I started in garage sales, storage auctions, used books for a long time. Great profit margins back then when you have like $5 to start. Got into reselling, private label. Reselling is still, wholesaling specifically is still a percentage of my business, and the rest of it is private label. Actually, motivation to start this group way back then was just I wanted to get around other people so we could all share ideas so that actually I could grow as a seller. And I could learn like the latest tactics. So I've never really started a brand from a position of like a ton of money in the bank, right? I've never done that. They've all been started from a place of like what we call bootstrap. So the way I approached influencers was from that perspective. I'm trying to pay a little bit, if anything, hopefully just my product, to get you to put it in front of your audience so I could get a lot more sales than what I put in, right? there's a lot of other ways to approach influencers. Like, I've never had the money to go up to a Kardashian and just say, plug my product. Probably works. I don't know the economics on it, but what I'm going to talk to you about today is not that. It's from like what you genuinely can do. And when you apply an influencer program right to your sales, it is freaking amazing. It is mental how well it works. It is not, it's almost like SEO. You probably heard it if you've ever tried to do Google SEO, and they're like, give it 6 months. You know, it's not something that you turn on and then tomorrow usually it's not. I'll also share a strategy that I do across the board, but applies really good to influencers, where it's not going to take much of your time now, but if you keep repeating it, it's going to really compound. And next thing you know, you're going to be in this position and everyone's looking at you like, wow, you're just like a guru when it comes to influencers. And in reality, it's not. It's just you did a few things right and you just kept doing them. All right? So I'll share that as well. And I'm going to keep popping the glasses on and off because I think I'm bordering on like legally blind now without them. All right. I tried to order these also in an order that made sense from like, the first one I'm going to show you, I'll just jump into it. This first one right here, this thing has been around almost since the beginning that I started selling. This was the only site that Amazon sellers talked about when I started selling, so 15 years ago. It's Thomason.com. Crazy enough, the co-founder of Thomason co-founded another software called SoStocked recently. He was the silent partner on the back end of building this site. And then when they sold, he kind of went his way. I'll pull him up right now. I had him on the podcast a long time ago, but the phenomenal guy. So
It wasn't just Chelsea and Ari?
no. It's loading. I guess it's not liking my Wi-Fi, but I'll keep talking about it. But he really? I guess it's because it's hooked up to Ecom that it's taking a bit. Is this thing charging? Oh, that stinks. Anyhow, it'll pull up. But how this works, first of all, it's free to be able to get this, which is usually my favorite word when you're bootstrapping. But just put find influencers. I hope everything's not going to take this long to load.
You want the 5G or 2.4?
2.4?
Go to the 5.
I don't even see the 5.
It's out there. Lower.
Huh?
What is it? What's stuck on the bottom?
Go here?
Second.
Up to second from the
Oh.
bottom.
There it is. Try it out.
Well, that stinks.
How does Thomason work? You pay them a certain amount for an influencer and then the influencer is gonna.
Is the 5G? Sorry, I just.
No, you should be
Okay,
good.
there it's good. Is the stream still good?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's still good?
Yeah. Looks okay.
All right, yeah, well that's good. 5G's working real good. So this is him, Dan Fernandez, co-founder SoStock. Yeah, no one, it was a silent one. They actually met at an event, and I think that's what gave her like the motivation to do it, because he has the experience creating this. So what SoStock does is just come in here, look for influencers, and where they make their money is when you hire an influencer and you make the payment, they make a percentage off of the transaction. But what they put together, and mind you, there's softwares that are coming out there now that are doing this. This is 15 years old. And they just allow influencers or creators to create a platform, create a profile that pulls in their subscriber stats and everything like that, so you know who you're working with, and you can make an informed decision, because anybody can get up here and say, you know, that they're an influencer. So let me see.
Quick question, is this only on Amazon? Can you use it if you have stuff at
Yeah,
Walmart?
this is not connected to Amazon at all. You can use it for anything you want. Yeah. But you can search. I mean, browse
Can you
by
search by
category.
like supplements, for example?
Yeah,
or
should be able to.
auto
I mean,
parts?
I would call that health, right? Let's see,
Yeah.
health, fitness.
Okay.
Let me jump into fitness.
We had a question, how does someone get involved with the ship from China program? That sounds like SkuDrop. Is
That's
that-
SkuDrop.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could either
I have a code for them. I don't know if you do. I can share it on the feed.
feel free to share it. I'd like them to know it came from WOE.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe in it so much, and anytime I do, I always try to I really like this. I'm going to be talking about it. I'd like to get you as a sponsor, and it always helps to get good sponsors when you see hey, look, you help my people, I help your people. But yeah, SkuDrop. I'd be happy to make an email introduction too. Danon's going to put a code that I think gives you a discount or gets you connected as well. But it's recommend using it. So yeah, you put in fitness, and then you can invite them to a campaign. To invite them to a campaign, you need to create an account, but it's free to create the account.
It reminds me of Fiverr.
Who?
Fiverr.
Yeah, but for
Well,
influencers.
for influencers.
Yeah,
This is-
there's going to be another one that came out not too long ago that looks almost identical to this, but where Thomason became the every other word in the Amazon space was many years ago. The way to rank products was you could go to sites like this and you could give your product away for free. So I would just say, oh, I have a supplement. I'm going to go here and I'm going to invite all these people and I'm going to give them a free product in exchange for an unbiased review. So I would order an extra 1,000 products. I'd go to Thomason. I could just send them to 1,000 different people. It tracks the transactions and they have to upload it. So it made managing it easier. But the bottom fell out of that and the FTC got involved and Amazon was like, no, there's no more of this giving stuff away for free for an unbiased review. And they took a major hit. And it was like, well, why use Thomason? Because the only reason people were doing it is they weren't real influencers in that scenario. It was more just like a review farm. But for people that did understand, and why Dan Fernandez actually created this, was he created this because it's very powerful for a brand to have user-generated content, to have other influencers talking about your brand. It helps get sales. So
Yeah.
it
Doesn't Amazon have that Vine or something? It's Vine?
they do, and I'm a Vine reviewer, but you're not going to get a relationship with the Vine reviewer that you can then go back
I got you.
and keep going to that well and building the relationship. So even on my, I will,
How many things can you pick from Vine?
I'll show
As many
you.
as you want?
Have you ever seen a Vine account?
No.
I'll show you. So this is a Vine account. So no ambiguity. I'm a gold. I have 2 Vine accounts. This is I'm a gold level Vine member. I'm allowed to get 8 products a day
Oh, wow.
to review at this level. Since I'm a gold member, means a gold level, I can get the items can be of any amount. So when someone first becomes a Vine member, they can only get stuff that's maybe a value of $50. But let's say you put a product into Vine and you're like, let me hit up Carlos. It's not automatic that I will see it in my Vine. So I will see here Vine items recommended for me, and it's random, and then it's available for all Vine members, and then additional items.
How do you become a Vine reviewer?
It's like hitting the lotto. But you'll see this year I've gotten, and another thing people don't realize is a Vine reviewer, you pay taxes. You get the product for free, but I got to pay taxes on that. So we have taxable income from Vine products of $27,267 this year, and we have ordered, God, it should say it somewhere. Too many. Too many. So I get a total between this account and the other one of 12 free products a day to my house.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you keep it all?
But we also have the coolest random stuff around the house, let me tell you. Like things you would never buy.
Yeah.
And it's like, who needs the hovering soap dish? I do. I would have never got the Star Wars, shower curtain. I got a lot of them now. You know what I mean? You just get a lot of, anyhow. So let me get out of this. This is just my random notes. So Vine, though, you don't get that relationship. So it's not really an influencer. You're getting those reviews, but not the influencer. So that's Thomason. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. The next one is going to look identical to Thomason, except it's started 12 years after Thomason. No, 16 years after Thomason. And I use this a lot. This is Join Brands. This is, let me see, I'm trying to think of, I would like to log in, but this is streaming, so I can't log into my main account. I'm wondering, I have some other accounts, so let me see.
That's also influencers?
This is influencers, yes. However, I want to touch on this because the Amazon influencer program is also a thing, which is separate. So if you want to make money as an influencer, which I'll just give you a quick thing on that, so this is making sense for everybody here. So you're going to see these boxes pop up. So you see the green? This is telling me that if I have this product and I do a quick little video review of it and I post it and someone looks at it, Amazon's going to pay me $32.97 every time somebody looks at it and buys it. Right? Red here means all the video reviews that could show up as an influencer are already loaded. So if you reviewed it, it's not going to show. But
I got denied twice, and I'm scared to do the third one.
I can 100% get you in. We pretty much have it down to a science now. If you just reach out to me, we have a course on it, but it's not even selling you the course. I have a course that'll teach you, it's $100, but just to get you approved, you want to get in it, like just go in the Telegram chat and we share everything you need to do to get approved. Yeah.
What's the Telegram chat?
Go to wizardsofecom.com/chat. This, you'll go here, and then if you have the Telegram app, you just go to step 2 if it's already installed. If you don't, download the Telegram app and then join the chat. And then just say, hey Carlos, when you join it, and then I'll know you and I'll add you to all. We have a different room, a PL room, a wholesale room, a different room for, some are more active than others, but the Amazon influencer one is there. But if you just jump in that chat or you reach out to me, I'll show you. And if you get denied on the third one, it's very easy to open another one. Like, does not have to be stressful. And it is like printing money.
I know, I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I got videos prepped in the bank, and
No, it is like printing money. And she's a beast at it too, right behind you. She's an expert right there. Huh?
It's fun.
It is. It's too much fun. Yeah, too much fun.
Little clicker thing, all that good.
Oh yeah, you're in it. So I want to touch on this really quick for the join brands portion of it. So you can make money. The way we're going to talk about it today is if you have a brand and you want to work with an influencer, right? But if you also are on this like Amazon influencer craze and you just want to make a few $1,000s extra per month, you can also just create a platform, create a profile here as a creator, and you just think about anything that's unique for you. Do you have a pool? Do you have a balcony? Do you have a tiny house that has none of this stuff? People make products specific for those types of environments. So there's something special about what you got going on. You mentioned you were grilling. You have a backyard area, like you got your own little man cave area or whatever for your grill, or you just have a grill or not. That makes you special on this platform for everybody that has that going on. So if you're going to get into this, I suggest creating both.
You need to do a meetup on Amazon influencers.
The next 2 or 3 are going to be on that. Yeah, they'll be in, when I get back to Miami, they'll be announced this weekend or early next week, but the next 3 in Tampa are going to be about that.
Is it hard to apply to become an influencer on Amazon?
No, there's a lot of uncertainty around it. Yeah, no,
The steps.
no.
It's a good program.
I did something wrong.
You already put your course. You already put your course together.
See,
Where's
so
the link to that?
go to wizardsofecom.com/course. So yeah, so if you go to wizardsofecom.com/course, go to the influencer program. Discover it's $99. It's gonna pay for itself almost immediately, and it's gonna go to $199 soon. And even then, it will pay for itself immediately. So yeah, so we're gonna do 2 topics dedicated just on that, and some other cool stuff we've learned about the program over the next 2. I keep rabbit holing. We keep getting good. So join brands. That's the problem. Every time you mention Amazon influencer, this thing could just go off the rails and we go on a different topic. So what happens here is you can open this for free, and let's just say you want a photo of someone holding your product. It's $5, and you can get this from like every weight, shape, size, ethnicity, nationality, just whatever you got going on. You want to get everyone under the sun looks like you're using your product. You can get it done here, and you can get photos of them holding your product. It's $5. The most expensive one they have, the one I like the most, is they have a $100 vertical video and post it on TikTok. So I get to create a campaign, and there's got to be a way that I can show you. I have one that only has like, I'm just hesitant to come in here because I don't want like a client stuff to come up or something else because we're streaming. But let me just, I think I can walk you through how this
So
is.
you're part of Join Brands?
Yeah, absolutely.
Zen,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, absolutely. We get paid
As an influencer.
as
you're
an
part-
influencer too. We get like probably like $600 paid a month plus free product that we make commissions on.
But is there like an age limit? Like, my daughter, she is all into skincare. This
How old is she?
She's 13. And
She
her
well,
little friends, oh my goodness, they're making Sephora rich.
I
But they send each other videos on their face before, and they're so into it, and some of the content that these kids put together. I'm like, wow, this is beautiful.
so I don't think there's an age limit, but if you know that and you just wanted to support, let it be under your profile. They've never asked for any verification,
I got you.
right? So it could totally be a picture of her and you just created the profile. Maybe you want to monitor the emails anyway.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so like, but just, you could totally have her do it, and you can have multiple accounts. So you could have your own, and she have one, but yeah.
I mean, they literally send each other these videos.
Yeah.
It's crazy of their, I forgot what it's called when they go shopping, of their, oh my god, not hauls, something, their hauls from Sephora.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, but you get on here as a creator, you get on here for your brand, and then you say, okay, the one that I like, $100 gets you a vertical video. You choose the person that applies to your campaign. As soon as you create a campaign, you're going to get hundreds of people applying to the campaign. You know what you're looking for. Like if you have a product that's athletic something, don't get someone with my body type. You know what I mean? Like get someone that looks like McSteamy back there. You know? Pick who you want. You see that they have a bunch of stuff going on TikTok. Have them create the video, and they post it on TikTok. Now, you keep the video, so you're getting the video that you're now going to be able to use as an ad type on Amazon. You get the exposure on this person's platform, and not every single one of them just gives you this spike in sales. And you, if the video works, you're allowed to grab something called a Spark code from that post on TikTok and come into Join Brands, and since you connected it in the beginning to do business, you can now boost it. So if it does start getting sales, you could just spend money in basically ads to boost it on TikTok. And the creator's happy because they're getting more followers. So, no brainer.
And then that drives a link to your Amazon listing?
Absolutely.
How it works?
Well, TikTok doesn't have like a clickable link to go get the product, but, and I don't want to make this too complicated, but the secret sauce right now to like boost your Amazon sales by about 15 to 25%, but I haven't really seen 25 much, but it's 15 to 20%, is create a TikTok shop, unfortunately. Create a TikTok shop, have your products on a TikTok shop, and the reason for this is, when this influencer that you did here starts talking about your product, they're going to be able to put a shoppable button now on their video, and what's happening is about 20 to 25% say, I don't want to wait 8 to 11 days for this. Let me see what it's looking like on Amazon. And they just go to Amazon and they buy it. So you're seeing that boost. So there's a lot of ways to use this from the TikTok side that will help you make sales.
You gotta talk brand.
Yeah.
You gotta talk brand name, right? You can't just say Spoon. It's gotta be your brand name Spoon, so they go to Amazon.
Absolutely, yeah. So that is Join Brands, and my favorite one again is the vertical video for TikTok, and that's $100. What I would recommend here, just kind of like from a strategy perspective, if you come in here and you get one influencer video, and that's the extent of what you didn't do anything. It's almost like getting one backlink to your website and thinking like you're going to be on the top of page 1 in Google, right? It's not how it works. This is something to get the full impact of it, you want to do consistently, right? So I do this in 2 different areas. So every week, and I've done this for over a decade, but every week I have two, and if I miss, I literally will make this up the next week. I have two 15-minute chats with two different people. I call it strategic partnerships, right? And I just hear out what they got going on. We figure out, you know, how we can help each other. I'm not trying to sell them on anything. It's more of just trying to grow my network. It's gotten to the point where my network is just pretty sick. Like if I wanted to do almost anything, I have a network for it. Well, the influencer thing is the same way. I would recommend if you're going to get into this, I would rather you spend $500 across the year than $500 once and say influencer stuff doesn't work, like in one shot. Have a consistent thing that you do so that you're consistently putting out opportunities all across the web that point back to your Amazon store. And the more you do them, the more you're, because not all of them work, the more you're going to just, oh wow, this one worked. And let's say yours is 1 out of 10 at first. If you did that every week, you'd have 6 people in your next launch that you could put your products in front of, and you would have a very successful launch. And that's a 1 out of 10. Imagine how that compounds over 10 years. Another little trick to show you how this compounding work is I back about $75 a month on TikTok, on Kickstarter campaigns. And I support Kickstarter campaigns that are in my niche, but that are not direct competitors of mine. And the reason for that is I'm able to jump in and get their attention and support them at a time when they most need help in a launch. Because that's the time that I'm going to want to reach out to them in their launch. And if it's not successful, Kickstarter gives me the money back. But you know what that looks like when you put that out across 6 or 7 years and you've reached out on social media and you said, hey, I just shared this here. You make yourself known to this person. You're not having any ask right now. Doing that once is not going to do much for you. Doing that every month and making it part of of how you just approach things in your business, very powerful. You with me on that, or do you feel like I'm talking gibberish? You get where I'm coming from? Okay. This is the same way. All the influencer stuff is that way. If you're trying to solve your next product launch this week on your influencer outreach, that's not how it works. Somebody told me a saying recently, the math isn't mathing there, right? All right. Any questions on Join Brands? Free to join. You only pay for the campaign, and Join Brands takes a percentage from the creator in the campaign, so you're not paying anything extra. It's like $3.
So besides the videos going to TikTok, like I've got to get product photos made, is this some alternative to some of that? Is it good enough quality? Is it the right kind of?
That's excellent. So what do you do with the content? So say you get some photography, say you get some vertical videos. I've recommended this to a few people, and a lot of people have not done it. But if you can put out this really makes me nerd out. So I'm trying to be not just ramble and say this in a way that makes sense. Within Amazon, you have ads. One of the ad types is video ads. One of the video ad types you now have access to, and a lot of people are not doing it, is vertical video. It is some of the best converting ads on Amazon right now, right? Super cheap. When's the last time you went on Amazon and saw a vertical video? Probably haven't, right? But they're exploding right now. Almost no one's doing it. So right now is a golden opportunity for that. So let's say you have 5 or 6 of these videos from different people using your video. What I would do is I would grab those vertical videos and I would put them, is it called a montage? Like a mashup? I would mash them and then I would time lapse them. So that in a short span of an ad, it's showing a whole bunch of people happily using your product and just looping. Those things suck me in at least. You can see a video of a plant waving in the thing, or you can see a video time lapse of it growing from a seed and bursting out. You get what I'm saying? I would go for that effect with your content.
You can do that in Amazon's ads.
You do the mashup. You go on CapCut, or you for $10-15 for somebody on Fiverr would video edit it together, but you could figure it out on CapCut.
That's what I use.
You don't.
Canva.
Yeah.
Canva.
Yeah, Canva. Everyone said you could totally with Canva. I think you need a degree to use Canva, but I'm very bad with that stuff. I see people get Canva and they just whip out some things, and I'm just like, Jesus, that's amazing. But I get on Canva and I just can't even. I'm ready to have a total meltdown.
Easy.
It's easy. So you're one of those, huh?
Well, it took me
Small part of me hates you now. All right, let's get into this next one. This next one is the one that I told you there was one here. This one I just started using, but the results have been so amazing that I want to let you know about it. So you're at ground level with me. If in 2 weeks we say this sucks, we'll say it sucks together. But right now it looks like the opposite of sucks. All right? Levanta. This is similar in the sense that you can get in as a creator and that you can get in as a brand to meet up with creators. If you get in as a brand, this one is not free, but I really think they're going to be raising their prices because it was just unreal, the results you got from both sides. If you get in as a creator, the amount of people that are reaching out to you to give you product is nuts. And as a brand, same thing. But on their standard plan, you get unlimited logins from your team. Maybe that's not a big deal for you, a huge for me. An unlimited number of ASINs that you get to put in here. And this turns into almost like a marketplace for your products, and there's a marketplace of creators, and they're linking them together. Unreal. One marketplace, that's not a big deal for most people. You get all the integration stuff. On this beginning plan, you get 25 daily creator invites. I'm pretty sure when you create this, and I don't know if it was just for me, but when you first create this, I think for like the first 30 days, it's unlimited. And I'm telling you, it's mind-blowing. And that's probably why they want to get you on this plan. Yeah, so I don't have a lot to add on this, except it's been great. I know there's someone in the group in Miami, Josan. Hope he's listening. But I recently posted it in the Amazon Influencer Telegram chat. And I told him, hey, I just got off a call with these people. I was really impressed with what they had. Josan immediately got in there and connected, and I think he has I think it's like 75 offers already. He went in as a creator of just people wanting to give him product and pay him to review products. So it's both ways is phenomenal to do. I recommend if you don't have a meaningful budget and you don't have a lot of experience, I recommend not going to the gold plan to start. Either start with Join Brands or Thomason, but maybe just Join Brands to start. Couldn't imagine you needing more than Join Brands. But if there's budget, go ahead and give this a month. They're going to try hard to sell you on the annual. Let the month sell you on the annual. Stay there, get a monthly plan for a month or two. And because sometimes you don't have enough inventory to really sit there for a year. And if you're not launching that regularly, you may not need an annual plan. And that if you just do a month to month and you keep it for 2-3 months, you're going to save $1,500. So if there is budget, I can say that I really recommend this. Easy to sign up. They have the sign up thing here. This is for a seller. It's freaking great. Very exciting. Trying to see if they have a better breakdown of how but they handle the payments, they handle the tracking to make sure that people are receiving the products, they handle all that stuff, so you don't have to do a spreadsheet, you're not having to chase people down, you're not worried about, someone got the product and didn't pay you, all that's taken care of. Okay, so those are 3 of them. I had promised 5, I have 7, obviously. But this next one is not really an influencer platform in most people's eyes, but it really is, and it's one of the best ones out there right now. I've hinted at it earlier, and they have an entire thing. Really? Oh, I was about to be heartbroken here. Hold on. Is it Creator Marketplace? No. Well, it's TikTok. How to become a TikTok influencer. It's here. Very, very, very stupid easy to work with TikTok influencers now. The way you can get the greatest impact from doing this, and this is not to be confused again with Amazon influencers. I'm not talking about coming in here as a creator. It's actually pretty difficult to make, for me so far, to make money as a influencer from the creator side on TikTok, right? I find it to be very difficult so far. As a brand trying to find influencers to grow your sales, topic today, best place in the universe right now. The trick though is, and one of the reasons why it's so great is you don't even have to go out and hunt for them. The only thing you need to do is create a TikTok shop, which is free. Add some products, yours or other people's, to be honest with you. It could be a wholesale products you're reselling, it doesn't matter. There's no brand registry, there's no gating, there's no anything. You just add these products on a TikTok shop, and then you go into the affiliate side of TikTok and you create promos. So I'm try to use easy numbers. You have a product that you buy for $20. You sell it for $100, right? You go into the affiliate side of TikTok and say, I am giving away $30 in commission every time this product you sell it. So you're 20 bucks, you pay out 30 bucks, you're still 50 to the good. I know these are big numbers, but you get.
Do you have, like, do you send it out, or does TikTok have like a warehouse?
Oh.
Like,
They're getting into the warehousing thing, but I don't know anyone that even knows how to find a link to get into it. I've only heard that they have one. You can use your FBA inventory. You can use AWD, or you can use a 3PL to send that inventory to TikTok. Or this disaster that Amazon, I think, has started with this whole China direct to Amazon. You now could take advantage of Amazon shipping and China direct it in to the buyer on TikTok. So a lot of options for the logistics to ship it. But what happens is when you create the TikTok shop, you put the back end promo for affiliates. No one sees that on your TikTok store. But there is a TikTok affiliate store. And the affiliates are looking for what are the products that we make the biggest commissions on. They are going to die. They're going to go nuts trying to get that commission. And they on their own will create all the most creative videos in the world with the newest lingo and the newest everything. They're phenomenal. Some of them are so dumb they're phenomenal. It's like genius. They're going to create this stuff. You don't have to know who they are. You don't have to talk to them. You don't have to set up a platform. You don't do anything. You'll just see that you'll go on TikTok and you'll see a little, like a bag, like a shopping icon on the bottom of the video. And that just means this person is talking about a product, and if you want to buy it, just click here. It's a clickable button for you to shop, and it's taking you to the TikTok shop. And when that happens, TikTok registers that. And if the sale happens, TikTok pays the other person. That's it. Seamless. Absolutely seamless. It's mental. It really is. It's absolutely mental. TikTok is TikTok. I think it's probably the best influencer platform out there from what I just described. And I'm not very team TikTok, by the way. I'm just like, this is a reality of like what's going on right now. I'm not even opposed to them being banned, you know what I mean? But right now, truth of the matter is phenomenal for influencer stuff. So
How would you fulfill the order? Just do a
whatever
order through Amazon and have it
you
sent?
totally multi-channel fulfillment order. You totally could do that. Whatever was most convenient and you make the most profit, I would do that, because the people that buy are okay with receiving it in 8 to 11 days. So it doesn't matter. Whatever gives you the most profit margin, there's no need to expedite it to them. And if that product is also selling on Amazon, you're going to notice a spike on your Amazon sales, because some people are like, I'm not waiting 8 to 11 days.
You can link your Amazon to your TikTok. Right?
No, you're not going to link it to your TikTok, but you're going to, someone sees God, why am I blanking? Oh, the Just Water. Someone did the Just Water. And the person's like, wow, because that person drank water so good, I'm going to get the water. So they buy the water, but then it tells them they're going to get this water in 11 days, and they feel like they just need it now, right? So that they can take a picture of it and show the person that they bought it, right? So they're like, hold on. And they go to Amazon and they search for, Just Water, right? And
So you would have to put your brand on. Okay, I got you.
yeah, the brand would be there. Yeah, but it doesn't have to be your brand. It's an actual wholesale, like for Amazon wholesalers. It is the wild, wild west again. It doesn't need to be your brand. There is no, when you create a store that says prove that this is your brand if you're reselling it. It's bonkers. Yeah. So
I don't know if Amazon allows this anymore. I'm thinking no, but what I would do sometimes is I would create like 10 codes in Amazon, and if
Promos.
somebody bought my promo code, then
Yeah.
I gave them that, and then they can use it to get a free.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They still allow that anymore?
To get a free product after, you could send them a code to give them a free product after, as long as the code is for Amazon. You could totally do that. Shockingly, the promo section is so underwhelming on Amazon. Like, most people don't shop in the promo section. Like, if you put a promo and you make it Amazon exclusive, and it's only showing up on the Amazon product detail page, and you don't share it in emails, you don't do anything, it'll get almost no traction.
So like I go to TikTok and I'm trying to drive one of their ads or a video to buy my product.
Yeah.
I could say just go ahead and purchase through TikTok. I'll send you a code and it'll get you a free product off Amazon.
Yeah, you totally could do
That way
that.
I can fulfill it that way and you see a sale in it.
Yeah, TikTok's not gonna have an issue with that. Yeah, so we go over here and we see just water, and with just water, I can receive this tomorrow. Not gonna wait the 11 days. Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
I can watch the recording, right? The
Yeah,
rest of it?
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
And then TikTok Shop pays
The influencer.
the from the commission.
Yeah.
I mean, that from whatever they're going to pay you, they take
Yeah,
it out.
and in that case, they're an influencer based on the relationship, but they're probably just, and a lot of the times, they're just some person that feels very charismatic looks very charismatic on video and doesn't mind eating 9 hot peppers. You know, like, I don't know. Like, they're just willing to do that. So the word is influencer, but it's like influencer/creator, and TikTok makes the payment to them. And then they turn around and create courses to tell people on how they should do it. And they show the money they're making. I've just not been able to do it myself. I've not been able to replicate it. But the money they're showing is bonkers, like 40,000 a month, like disgusting numbers. So we got that. Highly recommended. We touched on this one a lot. I think everything we did, we touched on this one. The Amazon Influencer Program is very powerful. Coming from the brands, what you do is you want to get access to something called Creator Connect or Creator Connections. You'll see it under your like advertising tab, and you'll see Creator Connections in your Seller Central. Most people have it and they don't even realize it. But you go into Creator Connections and then you create deals for your products. You could say something like, I am willing to give a 13% commission every time somebody buys through your code or your link. And then influencers on the other side see this and they say, hey, I got an audience for that. It'd be very easy for me to get this product and put it in front of my audience. And I'm going to make 13% on this, whereas as an Amazon Associates program, I'd make 1%, or on the influencer program for that same product, I'd make 2%. I make 13% on this product, and I have an audience full of people that are into this, you know? So it's a way, it's actually a really good program on Amazon Creator Connect. Again, the reason you don't hear about it a lot is most brands don't even realize they have it. But I highly recommend you go inside your Seller Central.
Where is it under?
Should be under the advertising tab. I'm pretty sure it's under advertising. Yeah, go to your advertising tab on Seller Central and you shall see it in the drop down. Phenomenal.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. You're also going to run across a lot of other people that are wanting to just do a video review of your product so that they can make money as an Amazon influencer. And that does have a benefit for you to have those videos show up on your listing. So even if it's not an influencer with their own built-in community, the fact that they're willing to create content for your product and fill up some gaps on your listing by showing videos, like to give some of you a visual in case you've not seen it before.
Yeah, they show up at the bottom of the listing.
Yeah, so these 3 are brand videos, right? These first 3, this is the brand. But these next 2, Curated Cool and Midwest Market, those are influencers. And when you click on it, this is Curated Cool's influencer page. This is the stuff that they review. Now, this person might be someone who's just doing this to make like an arbitrage commission off of the videos, but this brand could benefit from some more videos. Like, what did they say? Must watch. I don't think that's good. Hydrogen mineral water. Hydrogen mineral water. I think those are lame titles. I'm kind of guilty of this too. Like, since as an influencer, this is not my main source of income, I get lazy with my titles. But what are some uses of hydrogen water? Like, hydrogen water revives my pet quicker. So anyone that was considering looking at hydrogen water for their pet, they're going to click on yours. So these could be conversion opportunities for the brand to have these.
Free benefits of hydrogen water.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So, how about influencers on books? Is that like, not
Yeah.
a lot of people do it because it's not a very big commission on a, $15 book?
I think a lot of people don't do it because when's the last time you watched a video
On
about a book?
Never.
Right. And I think that's what it comes. I even talked to some authors, and they're like, "How come you just can't get a bunch of people to leave a video review of my book?" I'm like, "When's the last time you looked at a video review before you bought a book?" So you totally
It's
could.
something to try though. To just
I would. I think it totally should. I think because nobody looks at a video of a book before buying it, when you see a video, you're probably going to click on it, and the longer you dwell on a page, the higher the likelihood is you're going to buy the product.
Maybe the bestseller books have them. I
I'm
think
gonna
so.
look.
Yeah.
Because I did one for like something and I never get sales.
I was just thinking, if I got into the influencer program, what do I have for free that I already have at the house? Obviously I have a ton of books.
So I'm just going to check something real quick, but
And because of the price, probably cents.
Yeah.
so this is an extremely popular book. Okay, so this one actually does have videos. I want to say most books don't have any videos showing up here.
And then, every time.
And this is very interesting. I think there's another rule for
That
books.
looks like he's interviewing someone, but neither one of those is the author.
Yeah, neither one is the author. Interesting. There might be a different rule with books, but I would totally try it. This is also the 4-hour work week, so I mean, if there's any new exceptions they want to roll out, it's probably for this book. But okay.
So when you were doing the Amazon influencer class, I was under the assumption that you were getting paid your commission from Amazon, but is it actually are you getting paid from the seller, or is it Amazon and then you can offer another affiliate?
Yeah, so as an Amazon, like if I did a video review of this product and I posted it as an Amazon influencer, when someone looked at my video and then purchased, Amazon would pay me a commission.
Right. And there was like a chart that kind of showed what
Right here.
categories paid what,
I would
right?
get 2.5% for this product. Amazon would pay me $1.48.
Right. but
That
then
is
you-
coming out of Amazon's cut.
Right, but then you said that if you want, you can go to your Seller Central and
Creator Connect.
Yeah, that, and then they can get more.
Right, and
Yeah,
then
I'm
that
not
would
paying
be
on 30%.
you paying them though out of your cut, based on the percent that you agreed upon. You could put a high amount though, and you don't pay anyone unless they sell.
And the influencer gets both commissions at that.
An influencer can get both commissions, yes.
Okay. Yeah, 20%.
Right. Well,
15%,
right,
depending on the,
right. But if you don't have a baked-in audience, then
Right.
that means you get 2 sales, which means you made $4.50. So there's a lot of costs that they have to. There's a lot of costs that they have to do with having a community that you don't. So it's not just like this huge windfall of money. But yes, the distinction is correct.
No, but I think that's good for the seller. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because it's just an extra boost.
So that was the 5th one. The 2 extras I want to add, and the only reason I didn't put this one to the beginning, this is phenomenal. I've done so much great stuff with them. They're expensive though. And I struggle to like say, if you need influencers in a pinch to do some like, get some real sales, Stack Influence is great. Let's see if they even put the pricing on this. Yeah, they don't. You see, it's a big telltale. You go to their tab for pricing, and you got to fill out information to get on a call.
Price.
Yeah. They want to know sales. It's expensive. So you could be looking at something in like the 1,500 to 2,200 a month range. If you're a larger brand, that's totally fine. You consider it part of your ad budget. If you're just starting off,
I use them.
yeah. What was your experience?
I was good. I had them make a video, 3 videos, one for each of my products, or no, 4 videos. So I got, a person that made a video, 1 video for a product.
Where were you in like the 1,500 range?
No, I don't think it was that much. I think it was $100 a video, maybe. Or
It's really phenomenal. $100 a video. I recommend them. That join brands. Mine has been like 1,500 to 2,200 a month with them when I did. Check them out though. They are great. Like they're
What's the differentiator between?
for most of this, for most of them, it's the pool of influencers that they have. All these influencer platforms are always going to have more influencers in the beauty space, the fitness space. Like those are the ones that are the most, that attract the most influencers. Those are the types of people that usually get on video and do stuff. These other ones though, like Stack Influence, for example. Stack Influence is great for outdoors products, sports. Like they have unique strengths in the types of categories you can work on. They also, this one I feel gets a higher caliber of influencer. I don't think they use the word micro very much here. Like they're not dealing with micro influencers. Micro influencer being you're willing to go live once a week, and because of your consistency, you've built up a following, and it's not a massive following, but you've never sold anything to them. You're a micro influencer. They may buy something from you if you put it out there. These are influencers. They probably have a media kit. They have a following that they have a proven track record of selling to. Those are some of the differences. Yeah. All right. Last one. We did good on time. This next one is the last one was the 6th one. This one's the 7th one. I was going to give you 5. I've been wanting to share this one with you guys for quite some time now. It's people don't consider it an Amazon they don't consider it an influencer channel. But for me, the reason why it kind of falls into this area is if I refer to it as a way to build an email list, everyone's eyes glaze over. But at the end of the day, we're working with influencers so that you can get your products, especially during launch, in front of people to get a whole bunch more sales, right? Without having to be a slave to Amazon paid ads. Like that's what we're trying to do. The best way to do that is to have a community or have an email list, have a channel. Sellers are notoriously bad at being content creators and vice versa. The main obstacle, and one of the best things to have to be able to continue to go back to the well and sell your products to, is an email list. But the main problem, I'm just telling you, 10 years of having this community, of doing these, is how do you build an email list? Like, how do I get people on my email list? So this next one accomplishes both of these things, and it's Creator Network. You do not have to have ConvertKit as your email service provider, so don't let that freak you out. But this is what happens. So Creator Network, what they decided to do is say, you know what? Can somebody here share the niche that their brand's in? Niche? Herbal supplements. We don't think it's right that you have to keep paying Mark Zuckerberg to build your list to sell your herbal supplements, when we know another creator, Carlos Alvarez, who has a massive email list of people where he constantly talks, highly engaged people, where he talks about the benefits of holistic medicine and herbal supplements and all this stuff here. I'm not getting into selling products, but I have this massive community of people that are all the people that you want and that you're paying Zuckerberg to be able to try to get in front of, right? So Creator Network sets something up that says, okay, what happens if you go here and you search and you find people like me, and I can go on the back end and say, well, I'm not going to give this guy my email list. I'd be betraying the people on my list. And legally, you can't just start emailing them. It's a bad experience. But what if, when the next time I send an email, a pop-up comes up or something on the bottom that says, if you love this email newsletter, you're really going to love this one. Said by me, built in. And one of the boxes that are checked is your herbal supplement brand with its newsletter. And then I say, and this is all trackable by ConvertKit, you say for every person from your list that is in the US and that is between the ages of blank and blank or that fits this demographic, I'm willing to pay X. And like say I said, I want $1.10. And you're like, that fits my budget. I don't want to spend more than X per day and no more than X per month. And we start doing this. Your email list builds rapidly. And they're all people that you want, that you can sell your product. This is overnight that this starts happening. So, does anybody get what I just said?
So they click the link, and then I will get the email address of the person that clicked your link that you already have on your email.
Right, so that person, the box is already checked, says, yeah, if you're saying I should listen to this person, I'll do it. They click yes. It automatically triggers an email from his side to them. So now they've opted in to that person's email. And remember, these are people that are highly targeted that definitely want to hear this. This isn't just random. Yeah, so it really works.
Substack does that.
Substack has something that can do that as well, absolutely.
76%. I have over 500 subscribers.
So everyone I know that's done this has gotten, usually within the first few weeks, a few thousand subscribers. At usually almost nothing costs to do it. But I know it's getting late, so you just go to Discover Creators, and let's see, Nourish, Move, Love, free home workouts. If you have a fitness product and it's do-it-yourself working, if your product sells for like people to work out at home, you want to be on this person's email list. Like, you want to do this. Let me see if it'll let me do it without creating an account here. Yeah. You get to see all kind of stuff, the types of content they do, and then you can just connect and be set up with them. I mean, and it's literally a dime saved, modern money moves. Do you have
So you set up an email list on the platform, and then you pay to get your email list promoted from another creator.
Depends what you got going on. What this does is if you already have an email list, you come here and say, hey, I built this amazing list. As a creator, you want to monetize. But you need to monetize in a way that's not going to be distasteful to the people on your list, because that's your livelihood there, right? But you don't want to be chasing around sponsors and doing all this other stuff. So what you're saying is, man, I've put all this blood, sweat, and tears into building this amazing thing. There are a lot of people that could benefit, and my people benefit, so win-win-win, if we could just get them connected. So now you are one of these people that would be great to be connected with them. But I'm not going to do an email swap with you where your email writing style and your copy is now showing up in place of one of mine. So why not bake this in an automatic way? But I also invested a lot to build this list. So for each one of my subscribers on my 150,000 email list, I want $1. You're going to pay a lot more than $1 running paid ads trying to acquire them. Not to mention you're going to get some that are duds and they're not really into emails. These are people that are not only into this topic, but they are into emails and they're into like consuming what people talk about on this topic. So it's a huge win. And then you don't do that. If you sell a sponsorship, you get to do that once. Here, you can do that with 15, 20, an infinite number of creators because people read more than one email or they consume more. It's like saying you go to YouTube and you only look at one channel. Am I making sense on that? Out of all these, you said no?
And no on channel.
Yeah, right. So out of all of these, this is probably the most powerful one that I just mentioned. I know it has the word email in it, and that sounds like marketing, and it's like, oh my God, I don't want to deal with this. If you're going to listen to anything I'm saying, I would get into this yesterday. It's one of the regrets I have that I didn't start sooner, and I've been doing it longer than most. when it's coming to building your own email list as a brand.
It makes the brand a lot more valuable.
Oof, infinitely more valuable.
Is it just a link or can you put a graphic?
With?
So.
Oh, you don't put
have a
anything.
list, and I say I'm in Carlos's niche. We're not competitors, and then you put me at the bottom of your email saying if you like this product, you should check out Rob's stuff. Is that click here on just a link, or is it a graphic?
It almost looks like a footer, and it's nothing that either one of you create. It's a ConvertKit thing,
Right.
and it shows it's all pristine white. It'll say the name of your newsletter, maybe a little headshot of you and a tiny little thing beside it. It's got a box and it's pre-checked, and then you just hit yes. That's it. And there might be more than one. It might show 1 to 3 in the same thing, all pre-checked, and you just hit yes. And then your first move should be an automatic double opt-in to make sure that they want to be part of it. It wasn't a mistake. And once they do that and the person successfully joins, ConvertKit handles the transaction. All right, that is what I had. Those were the 7 again. Thomason, Join Brands, Levanta, TikTok, Amazon Influencer Program, Stack Influence, and Creator Network. All right? We covered a lot. There's got to be a few there that you could use. If you're just getting started like you, this must have been like drinking out of a fire hose.
My mind's exploded.
Yeah, so
it's great. Like, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
100%. Like,
Yeah. If
my
you're just
wife is
starting
like,
it,
you need to go out there and meet real people.
Yeah.
She found this for me, and
it sounds like you got a winner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna start it, but I have to do this for my family.
I live in Miami. Otherwise, I'd say let's go get coffee tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Right? But everybody you see here,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think everybody. You said you're just starting, right? But it also sounds like you got some experience. Yeah, you got some experience. Everybody here's got experience. This guy's been selling since biblical time back there by the sofa. Like,
You live in Tampa?
yeah, they live in Tampa.
Super.
Live in Tampa. These are people that you could just get with, and meet up for coffee or hit up. Otherwise, I would do it if I was here locally. I'm in Telegram. You can hit me up though, and if you tag me, I'll answer. I'm up here once a month, trying to get it to twice a month. But
Yeah, I'm coming.
I also have an amazing wife. I need to.
I'm coming every meeting. I'll be here.
Yeah, but you wanna
I'm going every.
you wanna try to stay in
I
contact.
gotta put all this together, but
So here's another one, and this isn't being hypocritical because I drive up here all the time. This Saturday, we got a hell of a meetup, right? Are you still going or no?
I want
Yeah, you want to?
Wait,
Okay.
you said this Saturday?
It's in Miami, right? It's in Miami, but we have the founder and active Amazon influencer of. She's got a software called Fluencer Fruit. Great software, but it's going to be a deep dive. There's going to be a lot of people there. So if you want to meet more people, bring wifey. Like,
How do you figure out what product to sell? That's like insane.
yeah.
That's like I don't even.
Not supplements.
Yeah, I mean, like
I say
my
not supplements,
son. I
but-
don't know if you know what an Oculus is. It's
Yeah.
like those head things.
Yeah,
and
I'm
stuff.
addicted.
And I repair stuff. I fix anything's broken in the house. I fix it and give it to Dad. And I'm thinking like, because I've been thinking about doing this for probably 2 years now, and just the strap on his Oculus, they go crazy with it. It broke, and then all of his friends, they break, and I go on Amazon, order these new straps. There's a title, I can tell it's China, and I follow that to the warehouse.
He's writing it down. Look at him. Oculus strap.
And I just bought it for $6. I could have got it for 6 cents. You buy 100 of them. So I'm thinking like, oh my God, like this is.
So
And
I think
that's
you're
like-
thinking the right way.
Okay, then
Right.
that's like, I'm not gonna probably get bad reviews on the strap. Like, they'll wear out after time and it's done or whatever. But
So you're not the way you're thinking is right.
okay,
Also, the fact that you're having a hard time around picking the right product, that's a good sign. Like, you really need to think about this right, because pretty much everything we talk about here, if you don't pick the right product, it's going to be like, that's a cool thing if it applied to my product, right?
Yeah.
So that's really important. Pitfalls that you wouldn't be aware of with that scenario you just gave is, first of all, I'm a fan of something you discovered in your day-to-day life that's a problem and you're solving it. That's the majority of my brands. That's how they start. So like, I think that's a strength
Me too.
Most people feel like you should just go on software and look for inefficiencies in the data for like reviews or whatever. I think that's a trap, but neither here nor there.
Okay.
The problem though is you get it for 6 cents,
Yeah.
and it's selling for $6. But if you need to sell it as an Oculus strap or compatible with Oculus strap, to get discovered, that keyword, there's not a lot of keywords, first of all, for that particular product.
Mm-hmm.
So the fewer keywords there are for someone to search for, the more competition those particular keywords are going to have, which means to get discovered, your cost per acquisition or what you're going to need to do in paid ads is going to be much higher. So yeah, you're getting it for 6 cents, but
Yeah.
you might be paying $5. You know, you might be paying $1.80 a click, and it costs you $5 to get a sale.
Mm.
And all the Amazon fees, and next thing you know, you're like, oh my God, how are these people doing it?
Yeah, then I was like, well, I have a warehouse, I could put straps, no problem, in the boxes, whatever, and then do it myself.
So-
but
so-
then, before I talk to you guys today, I'm just thinking.
There's a lot of ways to do it.
Yeah.
I'll share mine.
Okay.
And this is almost like sacrilegious in the Amazon space to do this, but like I sell products that I'm passionate about or would like to be passionate about.
Me, that's
Okay.
what I want, yes.
That's a must for me.
Yeah.
I'm not a gifted engineer like this guy
Yeah.
who could pull patents and think about like reinventing shit. You know what I mean? Like that's never been my gift.
Yeah.
But passionate would be something I like to do. Like to be passionate would be the example I give is I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always stressing. I need to do something relaxing. I like gardening. Well, how about bonsai? I don't know anything about bonsai, but that sounds really fascinating to me.
Oh, yeah.
I could see myself getting into bonsai, Karate Kid, you know, Zen and all that. You know, so like that would be I would like to get passionate about, right?
Exactly.
And the next thing is, even if you have something you're passionate about or like to be passionate about, there needs to be a market for it on Amazon, right? People need to be searching for this thing already.
Yeah.
If you invented the next squatty potty and no one knows what it is or how to search for it, it's not going to sell.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm into nature too,
Yeah,
and I build bird feeders.
that is a good category.
So I get pallets for free from warehouses. So I have a pallet truck. I pull up to a warehouse. They load the pallets onto my truck with a forklift. I get them for free.
And you build feeders.
Go to the warehouse, my warehouse in my backyard, strip the wood, and I get these vintage wine bottles from wherever. Wine bottles, beer bottles sometime. And I'm in the process of building these things right now. I got these crazy blue color, like my watch colored bottles, and you put the food in and it's got a little bowl and all of that. That's where I'm at as far as, and I know I would probably start on Etsy. That sounds like a product. Yeah. And I looked at the competition and I feel very confident
Or
on
what
my bird
about
feeder.
handmade in Amazon?
Huh?
Handmade, I mean, you're doing them.
Yeah.
Also handmade in
I was.
Etsy.
My start was gonna be Etsy because I got an Etsy account. And I'm doing it.
Look at this.
Then go branch off to whatever.
You
But I'm a nature like.
You said
anything
wooden
with
thing.
nature.
You said wooden thing. Look at this.
Yeah.
These are selling for $50.
And mine is not to brag, but looks like.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like vintage wine bottle like stuff, and that's where I'm that's my starting point right
I think that's a great idea.
Look at
Just-
now. Do you?
Yeah.
Really?
I think it's phenomenal.
I
That's
like
good
that
to hear
one
from
better.
some other
Yeah.
people. That's great.
Look at this.
Yes,
There's,
I'm killing that.
there's no way my wife would let me
My wife
start
is like,
another brand, but look at this.
She's like, babe, you're
This is-
killing that. Your bottles look way better than that.
It's $35.
Yeah.
This is a
And I'm
20-cent mason jar.
And I'm only, the wood for free.
Reviews, so
And
Yeah.
I'm only
people
buying
buying it.
I'm buying
Things-
the bottles. That's
This
it.
thing's 400, over 400 sales a month. Like,
Yeah.
this is a kid or two in private school. Like, this is good.
And mine is like way better than that.
And do you have
Yeah, but-
capacity for 400 plus a month?
What's that?
To produce 400 a month?
You gotta think
Yeah,
about
that kind of
scalability.
amount of-
So,
Chuck out. It's just me. It's just me.
Well, okay.
It's just me in the warehouse.
so once to validate whether there's a market for it on Amazon, I just search for what the main keywords would be, and don't get too deep into the weeds here. Just like how would somebody search for this thing?
Mhm.
And I like to see that there's a full battery of ads. And I'm just giving you this so that you have some homework to kind of
Thank you.
do between this, right?
Yes.
If I'm searching for water, no, let's search for Garlic press. This is an ad. There should be a headline ad. I still call them headlines. And there should be these. You see this says sponsored?
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 of these. I want to see 4 ads and a headline ad. 4 sponsored and a headline. To me, that means there's a market for this, and that's why people are running ads about it.
Yeah.
The next thing I do is what I call Stairway to PL. And it's you. I feel like the example that drives this home the best is you're thinking of selling something in the kitchen. You're like, what am I going to sell in the kitchen? It's bowls. This is where money goes to die. If you tried to launch a product, say, I want to launch a bowl, right? I mean, somebody that searches for bowl,
Yeah.
they're not buying anything, right? But now, this is the stairway, right? So that's 1. This is 2 steps in.
Riches are in the niches.
So now we're 2 steps in. This is the stairway to PL. We want to be 4 to 6. So ceramic bowl, a lot's changed now. Still not a great spot to put your money, right? But we could do better. We've narrowed this down even more. Prices are still looking good. Sales are still looking good. And then you can do almost anything you want after this. Watch. You go nuts now. Much less competition. Great profit margins. We could take this off and put. Do anything you want. We're now 4, 5, and 6 steps in. So like,
Would that be like putting vintage bird feeder?
I feel like vintage is more of a.
Or would that shoot me in the foot?
No, I feel like with the steps for bird feeder would be bird feed.
You maybe would have to look at how are people looking for bird feeders.
Yeah.
Maybe
I-
one that the squirrel won't get the food for the bird.
Oh no, I hate that.
Something like
I
that.
hate, I'm working
And
on
I
that
love
too in the
birds. That's
design.
why I'm
Me
getting
too.
ideas.
Yeah.
like another one would be
Those squirrels are a pain in the
in the supplement space. I don't want to be in the supplement space, right? I don't want to be. I don't want to sell electrolytes.
Anything that goes in the person's body is taboo.
Right. I don't want to sell electrolytes, right? But I have no issue selling electrolytes for reptiles. Right? Like this has changed everything now, right?
Yeah.
So like you can. Another example I said recently, I've been doing this one in Miami. It was cats. It was like someone said, hey, I got this factory. They make amazing shampoo in Brazil, and I'm like, what do you think I should sell, Carlos? You have any ideas? So I immediately thought of Brazilian shampoo, but I'm like, nope. That's where money goes to die there. That's so freaking competitive. But then I was like, what things could you make? Like if you wanted to reverse this, and I just had the ability to make shampoo, do I really care who the shampoo's for? So then I was like, shampoo for pets. Shampoo for pets. And I was like, no, shampoo for dogs. And I was like, Jesus, this looks competitive. Then I was looking at shampoo for cats, and shockingly, shampoo for cats was much less competition and still great. But then I'm like, oh, that's right, there's a thing there. Cats don't like water.
Exactly.
Right, so like, you gotta risk your life here to do that. But then I found this. I actually love this. Like,
Shampoo for birds?
oh, this is even better.
Oh, which is a very expensive.
This is the only one, even with, no, look at this, this is so good.
Which is a very expensive cat.
This costs about 28 cents.
Are you
Might be 40 cents with the bottle, right? Selling for 20.88. Horrible, horrible image. This is like a, this is a clinic on what not to do with a main image, right?
Yes.
I initially
Only one?
Initially, I skipped this, and I skipped this, but then look at here. In one of the sponsored product slots, it's not even relevant to the specific search,
Yeah.
right? And we keep going. There's another one here. This one. I was like, you know what? This you see what I'm saying about a clinic about how to do this bad? How do you? This is a scroll stopper. Even if you don't like cats, sorry, but
And they're
even
gonna
if you don't
pay-
like cats,
They're gonna pay the money. 'cause
you're
that
gonna
cat-
stop. You're gonna stop. Yes, you're gonna stop to look at this.
That cat is expensive.
You're gonna stop to look. Why didn't they put a cat there?
Yeah.
Right? So, but this one looks a lot better.
Way better.
Again, the competition is almost non-existent on this thing.
Mm.
So then I start looking at it. I want to differentiate, and I'm like, how would I differentiate this? So, this is my, and if you want to do it. Just circle back and let me know how it went. But I would do a shampoo for Sphinx cats. I would consider a standalone, but I found out later these are actual exfoliating gloves for Sphinx cats. Apparently, I don't know about them. And anybody that does, please chime in and correct me. But these are gloves to use specifically for the Sphinx cats, right? Why not bundle this? $20.88 is not bad for a $2 product, but if this is $8.49, we could easily be at $25 here. But this is where it gets better. So I was like, what is this goofy little image here? I thought it was a pig, right?
Yeah.
This is actually a hair cap. This is a head cap. And guess what this is? It's a shower cap. This is a tin of 20 freaking shower caps for the Sphinx cats. So I don't know if they're like more susceptible for like water in the ears or what it is, but this is $16.45, right? So $16.45, $25, $45. I would put this into like a $29.99 or $34.99 kit.
Mm.
You have room for ads. I guarantee you're not going to retire off this thing that I just shared you,
Yeah.
but you're going to do some damage.
So
You are going to do some damage.
I'm dying to ask you why
Might do
you
that one.
said that the
That's
softwares are a trap. I see you've got Jungle Scout there. How many monthly sales are going on these items?
Yeah, let me
And
see.
I'd like you to talk a little bit more about why the softwares are a trap.
For sure.
I'm kind of very
Yeah, where do we?
attracted to Jungle Scout.
I love Jungle Scout. The next thing I was going to say after you have done all this and you've gone through the Stairway to PL is now open up a software and start validating your keywords. But I find the trap to be if you start with the software, you're not considering what I think to be a lot of important factors, and you would not have surfaced this product had you gone with the software. So I find that I think the softwares themselves, like even I've had a chance like to talk to the founders of these things that started them. The way those softwares are used now, even Greg Mercer and Helium 10, all that, they're not being used how they were intended to be used. It's just that, what is the number one problem that everyone has when they start? Product discovery. So why don't we tell people the best way to use this is to find products,
Right.
and it kind of like, I feel like it kind of like mentally stunts some people.
Right. You're talking more about the extension where they made it so you can type in your parameters, like I want this many sales, this much
Right.
price.
That filter.
And then you get a list. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's horrible.
Yeah, because everybody's putting
The
in
same
numbers.
filters.
Right.
Nobody
And
puts in
now-
show me the most expensive thing with the most reviews that has 100,000 BSR. Right.
Yeah.
You don't. So it's a trap.
Yeah.
Now if you do this, and you should bring in the software. I love software then. That's where I have the Jungle Scouts and stuff. But here this is showing you, this is selling over 100 a month. And this alone is selling over 100 a month. I mean, and by the way, my other rule here is I don't care how small the niche is as long as I'm the one dominating it. Like I don't care if the thing sells $250 a month, 250 units a month, as long as 235 of them are mine, right? But you can come in here and do a lot of things. Like that was just one that I did to put this together to sell this into a more high ticket item. And by the way, the company that would make this is called. There's a factory in Boston that would make this. And that's how I knew the pricing on it. So if you reach out to me, I'll show you.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I know what I'm talking about the pricing. I don't know about the tin, I don't know about the hair caps, but those things are not expensive.
No, the kit is perfect.
Yeah, of course, yeah, the kit's amazing.
Yeah.
It's nuts. So, kind of, I rabbit hole. So when you leave here, and you want to continue this progress of like, that's not the only way. We could all approach product selection differently and all be right. But to at least volunteer, like, hey, that's what I use. It's worked for me. So that you could start vetting and going through the process of thinking of some products between now and the next time I'm here, or the next time you connect with somebody here, or our Telegram chats. You have kind of a framework that you could approach this on. The next step, though, is to get into the software and look at the keywords. You know, what you need to rank for needs to be in line with the budget that you have.
And you just randomly thought of that shampoo one.
So, well, this one I told you the story. This one I told you. This one is, by the way, it's 5 minutes past ending. I don't know if anyone has to go and just waiting to leave, you can. Otherwise, I'm going to keep talking about this for a few more minutes. It's up to you, though. This particular one was somebody's like, hey, I have a friend that has a factory in Brazil that makes shampoo. Can you think of a product? But another one was I was in my garden, my backyard, and I was, filling a pot, and it dropped. It was one of my favorite pots, and it shattered. And I was already having a bad day, and I went to go garden because it kind of like helps me, like my mental health,
Me too.
right?
Yep.
You'll find out in e-commerce you need to have something for your mental health.
I got a lot.
So I broke it, and then I was like, I'm not going to go out and get a pot. And I happened to have a really nice bonsai pot. And bonsai pots should only be used for bonsai, but no, I'm sorry, it wasn't a bonsai pot, it was a matcha, which is tea. But I was like, it was a massive, like almost like comical matcha bowl. I was like, I'm just going to put this thing in here for now. It's really small. I brought it. I dropped it as well. And then I looked at it, and I was like, I mean, this was a beautiful matcha bowl. And I was like, man, isn't there like a thing out there where if you have like this beautiful artifact and it breaks in like these other cultures, there's like this gold that you can piece it back together like a puzzle, and there's kind of like perfection in imperfection and how we're all imperfect. So I opened Google, and this is, it comes out to be that it's this. It's called kintsugi.
Are you serious?
It's a thing. So this is, I'm telling you, this is like how I discover stuff.
Yeah.
Like, just, there's a lot of us have no problem discovering products. You just don't understand. You're doing it unconsciously.
Yeah.
So this is just doing it consciously, doing what you normally do every day. If you're in the e-commerce space or you're thinking about it, don't tell me when you walk about a store you're not thinking about how's that made, what would that cost to do. Like, you do that. Just acknowledge it and intentionally start looking at this. So we looked at this. I mean, I just put in kintsugi. Look at this thing. Kintsugi repair kit. So I started pricing this stuff out. And I'm not in love with the kits. But, where was this one?
Oh yeah, epoxy.
Yeah, hold on, let me show you the one.
Let's come up with that word. Did you go to Google?
I went to Google right there. I was like, what is that thing where you piece stuff together?
Adhesive.
Right, another thing to, if I would have started with the software and I just put in some filters, I would have never come across kintsugi, right?
That's crazy.
Right, let me see, look at this. $223, 66 reviews. Again, this thing does not have massive volume, but I was like, you know what? There's some room for some creativity here with this kintsugi thing. And if you were looking at a video of a garlic press squeezing garlic, or you had the opportunity to look at a video where someone was putting back together this vase using gold paste, which one are you stuck on?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about getting into this. Is this very difficult? Oh, I can get a kit for $25. So I was like, hey, what's going on here? At that point I want to differentiate though. And I was like, what about these cool shapes? $223.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyhow, so I think about, my kids saw somebody fishing and they're like, we want to go fishing. I love the idea of fishing. My whole life I've loved the idea of fishing. I don't know how to even tie a hook on.
Yeah.
So I'm Googling my butt off trying to figure out how to do something. I can't take my kid fishing and then I don't know how to even tie the fish. That's going to ruin the experience,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I feel there's a lot of pressure here.
I've been there.
So I start looking online for, starter. Is there like a starter play fishing rod?
Yeah.
Is there like a way to gamify this where you throw the rod and see if you can get it in that area and how to pull it back? And I'm looking at this and I discovered a gold mine of like starter kid rods that are not Fisher Price and that are not a car payment, you know what I mean? Like right in there. And there's a gold mine of opportunities in there. And a lot of the vendors that were selling them were actually local, shockingly. They were local to this Tampa area. All right, that's it. I won't stop on this, but just be conscious about how you're going about it. The fact that you're hands-on.
I'm driving my wife crazy.
Yeah.
She's like, go see some
So she
people."
sent you here
She
for
said- she's
peace.
like,
She sent
"Come
you here
on."
for
Yeah.
peace too. Okay. We went a little over. I apologize about
Oh,
that.
great. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Very good,
Yep.
Carlos.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colin.
Yep. Thank
Very
you.
good.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
And I'll go on Telegram and just do what? Say, hey, tell me the secret sauce, or because you guys are up here and you said just be real plain. Don't show anything other than just the product.
Nice meeting you.
So some things that we've learned since that, and again, you may have some strikes against you because you already have two of them, but don't look at it like you only have one more shot. You can do another, all you need to do is if you get denied on the third one, delete they're gonna tell you this is not happening. Delete your account. You could submit the same social media account back and you can do it again. You only have 3 for that, and you have an unlimited amount that you can do.
Oh,
But those boxes that I showed you, the green, yellow, and your 3 products that you review, you wanna make sure that there's an open slot for them on Amazon when you review them, and it dramatically increases the likelihood. Most people are just grabbing 3 random products.
yeah. Just make sure there's no influence videos already there.
They can be, but it's gotta be less than 5. If you send me the links to what you're gonna review, like I'll tell you, I'll show you whether it's, but the way to check for yourself is, you're looking at a listing, there has to be a video. So if the brand never added a video, nobody's influencer video is allowed to show. So a page is locked until it has a video.
So I have to have one between 1 and 4 videos.
Yes.
missed you also.
Right, so that dramatically increases it. The other one is, what social profile did you use?
I
I'm assuming it was a
noticed
new one
that
you
you
created
for
just for
the
this.
6 months.
Social profile.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
Facebook.
no, last
Right, with how many
month,
followers?
Paid for
Christmas
'em.
party.
I think I
I
had
was
like
like, he sold it and now he doesn't.
Okay, so-
Yeah.
Right, so the Facebook page should be more than 5,000, but if you have any social profiles anywhere, even something maybe years ago, that you were like, oh, I'm thinking about getting into real estate, you create a page and you just left it dormant. If you have a social profile that's been open for 2 years or more, it's automatic approval and automatic approval for monetization. You just need to pay for the followers now to add it, but because it's a seasoned account,
I
it's
just have the
automatic.
one.
Yeah,
It
my
doesn't make that
stupid
much.
Facebook account got hacked and I got it
But I like that
deleted, so I got trying to
influencer
get it
program.
back.
Well, that'd be your personal
I
profile, it
love
needs to be a
I love
page.
You been doing
Yeah,
that one?
Yes,
but
like
my page is on
just-
my personal account.
Yeah,
Be
oh, yeah. The other one,
No,
the other one, and
really,
this is probably gonna seem like a big ordeal, especially since you're not yet
they
making
just
money
send
from the
us like
program.
a scooter,
But if you go to
$400
Flippa,
scooter for us to do
flippa.com, where you
everything.
can go buy
No,
businesses,
100%. It's not that
they have a
expensive, like,
portion there that's,
they
you
just
can
send
buy a
like
business if you
steamers for
search,
the
you
food
filter
and
by
the
like
programs.
They just
cheapest
found you on
buys.
Amazon?
They
You could
just
buy a
found me on
business,
Amazon,
which
they
is really
text me,
somebody who
what's your rate?
built a Shopify site.
I charge $25
They're like, I wanna sell it
I'm
for
a
50 bucks.
professional.
But when they
Or
started
they
it,
send you the product and you can.
they
ship
also
it.
opened a Instagram and a Facebook page, and it was like 5 years ago, and now they're saying, can I get 50 bucks from this thing? But because you're buying it,
So these
you get the
people
socials,
send
you
10
automatically
things.
get a seasoned
So-
social media.
Sometimes they're not trash, but nothing that you want to
Yeah,
keep.
you do a quick 30-second, 60-second
And you
video.
keep
another-
Sell it
it
off
off like
Facebook.
a big production.
Saturday in Miami,
Sell it
we
on
have a big
Facebook
one.
Marketplace.
And then the next 2 we have here, so August and September are gonna be Amazon
Really don't
influencers.
like, and then if not like
Yeah.
houses.
I'm also gonna talk about,
houses that
it's
you
hard
have
not to
so
talk about other
much.
topics, but those will be the main topics for the next 2 here in Tampa.
I'm interested in that, but I really wanna go all
If
in
you
back again.
need any help
For sure.
getting
I
the
was
approval,
doing
you
all
let
right
me know.
back in
Yeah.
2015, 2016.
I think I have to get his course.
Fell out.
It is a very good course.
Sorry.
Your Amazon influencer course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.
Oh, okay, I just sent you a text on for that Boston shampoo thing.
Yeah, it's on. I always forget the name, but
That was a good class, man, still got more people in here.
the topic.